Okay, and with this Teresa Cole story, kind of what's your relationship with getting her to Marvin and Company after she's done at Siena?
So I met Teresa at the career fair, and pretty instantaneously amazed with her ability to just her presentation, and her resume was very good. But then you also know that she's a very high quality athlete at the Division I school. Playing college football myself, I know you have to balance a lot. So to have the GPA that she has, and to be, my guess is probably a first team MAC player, it's pretty impressive.
I mean, is this move also because she's so good at hoops that maybe you guys have like your own basketball team at Ringer, for like pickup games?
We did like the fact that she had soccer on her resume, because we do have a soccer team here at the firm, which I think she played it at South Colony. And being a South Colony grad myself, I was pretty excited to get another one in the office. We're actually hiring another person from Siena who has a South County background. He's an athlete as well. So it's something that we like, having athletes. They're used to the team sports. They know how to work through some tough times, stuff like that. So.
Sure. And just joking around and talking to you off camera, I mean, were you able to ever, go to games and watch the way she conducts herself on the floor as a leader, and thinking, well, that could really translate to Marvin and Company?
We went over as a firm to I believe it was the Quinnipiac game, and I think Quinnipiac is probably the #1 team in the women's division on the MAC side right now. And if I had to ask her, I would bet she would say she didn't have her best game. But it's amazing when really good players are able to not score, a lot of points, but they're still able to, to provide for the team. I think she took a couple charges, had 3 or 4 steals, had some really nice assists, played very good defense. So she probably already had 8, 10 points, but she's still probably one of the best players on the court. And you can just tell. I mean, it just comes naturally to her to watch her play. She just has that kind of floating ability. She's very athletic. You can tell the game just comes easy to her.
And talking to her the other day, I mean, she's got a smile that lights up the room, the nicest kid. How excited are you guys to when she's done with Siena, to get her here? Because I feel like somebody like that, not that you don't have leaders here already, but that's somebody that brings a different personality and kind of elevates everybody.
And especially that she's a local product. I mean, to be able to have someone that has that background, that ability, that personality, just natural leadership about her, and she's local. I mean, it's really a good win for us to have her, coming on after she graduates. So.
And this is the last question. When she was getting scouted by a number of different schools, I mean, did you guys have her on your radar? I mean, was it right after the job fair? You're like, let's kind of keep an eye on this one.
I came back from the job fair and instantaneously went to Tim Reynolds' office, who runs the A&A department, in our HR office, and I said, she's going to be our #1 pick. Literally treated it like a basketball lottery system. We had the most ping pong balls in the bucket, and so we wanted to get her. Just her background was unbelievable. To have that high of a GPA, be that presentable, and to have that leadership awareness and that court ability, it was definitely something we wanted to get in here. So it was a no-brainer.
Obviously, you guys were talking about going to a job fair, and you weren't there for that exchange. But when she came to Marvin and Company and you met, Teresa for the first time, what was your impression of her?
Well, when Kevin brought her into my office, my first thought of her was that she was a very pleasant person, very easy to talk to. Which is a great thing, especially when she comes to Marvin and Company. She's going to be working with a lot of clients, a lot of different team members. She just seemed to have a very easy way about her to talk to and communicate with.
I've seen these commercials 1,000 times. They say, the NCAA has 100,000 student athletes, and most of them go pro in something other than sports, right? How do you think her leadership and her ability to be a great leader and a great player on the floor, do you think that can translate, and how so, coming here when she's done graduating at Siena?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that, particularly on the assurance side of our practice, you're constantly in a team environment, whether it's with other staff members of Marvin and Company, whether it's with our clients, but you have to be able to work within the context of a team in basically everything that you do. And it's really great with a student athlete because they've experienced that not just in college, but most likely in their high school career, and have had numerous years of experience with that.
So if we're going to use sports references here, we've got other people who are maybe in charge of scouting her, and maybe, would you say, your player development, or no?
Yeah, I would say I'm player development because when she comes here, I mean, obviously she has a great education, a great GPA. She has a very successful college career, but now she's got to take that come into this environment and be able to execute in an actual professional environment.
How excited are you from just a professional standpoint to get somebody like her in here who's so well received? I've talked to many people about her, and not one person has had anything, not bad to say about her, but then they followed up with this glowing recommendation and stories about how she's such a great kid, a great team player.
I'm thrilled to death. Not just because of her and again her strong personality, but just the fact of her background. Coming in here, having those leadership skills, having those the team experience, I think it's great. A lot of times we have to, spend a lot of time the first few years with staff coming out of school that haven't had that kind of experience. So in a way, we're already beyond that, and it just gives us that much more of an advantage to develop her into a working professional.
Now this is almost kind of self-serving, but if it's good enough, maybe we use it in the piece. But I mean, is this something that's is this how it regularly happens? Like, you get your undergrad, you can get a job, then go back and get the master's, or is she kind of is she rare in a sense that she already has a job before she's even graduated with a master's?
I don't know if it's rare, because we do a lot of our recruiting when people are either in their junior year or their senior year, but I think that one of the big differences with her is that as soon as Kevin met her, he was in my office that day saying how impressed he was with her, and that she would be a great member of our team. And when I met her, I felt the same way in a very short period of time.
I have one more question. It's funny that you say that you recruit normally junior, senior year. It's almost like that parallel in high school when coaches are recruiting athletes junior, senior year. So when you were recruiting her, I mean, you guys must have been obviously super impressed right away and had in the back of your mind, we got to get her here at Marvin Company.
Oh, absolutely. And particularly when Kevin comes in with a strong recommendation like that about somebody, even if it's for somebody in the assurance side, I hold his opinion in high regard. So I was very interested right away. And like I said, once I met her, I felt the same exact way that Kevin did, that she would be a great addition to the team here at Marvin.